You are listening to the Foamy Heads Podcast, where we discuss craft beer and anything else that accompanies a glass.
Atlanta beer was really good.
Amazing. Yeah.
But Nashville beer can give a run for its money.
It sure can nowadays.
There's so much opening up in Nashville. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the point today.
It is. Just focusing on Nashville beers.
Nashville beers.
I drove by Highwire.
Mm-hmm.
Accidentally found Highwire in Nashville. I didn't actually look to see where it was.
That's funny because we accidentally found Highwire in Knoxville. Remember that?
Yes.
We drove by looking for something else, and you were like, and we stopped in. That was your first cold IPA experience, remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember it was also on discount, so that extra plus was there. So I remember it being very nice.
You just accidentally find Highwire wherever you go.
I knew they opened up, but I hadn't looked where.
We need to go.
Yeah, we do. We do. The space looks great. Unfortunately, the area they opened up in is under a lot of construction, so parking is kind of a thing, man.
Yeah.
But they do have a lot of parallel parking that if you get lucky, you can just park right next to them. But otherwise, we got to pay to park. But what I also found out in Nashville, so if you come to Nashville, you're going to be paying for parking. Wasn't always that way. But some other company has come up, and where all the parking meters used to be, basically, is now a QR code, the bane of our existence of QR codes.
We're back to that age.
But right now, the prices are like $2 to a few dollars an hour versus the typical parking lot fee of $20, $25, $30, $35, $50.
Yeah.
So I don't know what Nashville thinks. It's not a big city yet, so slow the fuck down.
Yeah.
But
stay in your chill. You're not as popular as you think you are.
yeah.
Although bachelorette parties from other cities and states will tend to disagree.
Yes.
Flying back from Pittsburgh last week, it was like woo girl bachelorette parties on their way to Nashville.
Yeah. Dude. So the whole time in California, every time we mentioned that we were from Nashville, everyone wants to move there.
Really?
Yeah. Is custodian still a word, or does that make me old? Person at a front desk. Yeah. They were checking us in for like the zoo. The lady was like, "Oh, you're from Nashville? I can't wait to go visit, or I can't wait to move there." Every person we've told about Nashville. So Nashville happening, but you're still a smaller city than most of the major cities. So slow your roll still with parking. You're getting all this tourist shit. I know they can pay, but your people can't pay.
Maybe that's why they're proud of their parking.
I guess all the out-of-towners can pay the bills. But yeah, Highwire is in the Gulch.
Yep.
And it's right down from Peg Leg Porker. Turns out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Casa Monte Cristo, Highwire, Peg Leg Porker.
Yeah. A little reverse. Let's see. Highwire's on the tail end of the circuit. So there'd be a little ways to walk, but it's right there.
They're there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still got to paint the picture in my head, right?
Yeah.
But they took over like a very new building spot. So I bet it looks fantastic. I've seen some pictures.
It looks great.
God, Highwire always uses those bright colors.
Yeah, they're so eclectic when it comes to their art and their visuals, and their beer's great. Shout out, Emily is awesome. Sarah's great. It's just good people.
Yes.
At Highwire.
Yeah.
And their beer has always been just solid. And the experience is always good. And I'm glad that we get another brewery from out of state to come plant their flag in Nashville.
Yeah, more than happy to have a Highwire. Can't wait to go visit.
Yes. But we've got Nashville breweries in focus today.
Yes.
There's tons of them. One's Nashville based, one's Murfreesboro based, but greater Nashville as it were. And we're going to highlight some of them today. That's the whole point of this show, is just to kind of get people excited about Nashville beer. And we've got two really great ones, opposite ends of the spectrum, Mitch.
Yeah.
Opposite ends of the spectrum.
Very opposite, yes.
So let's just get into it.
Let's do it.
Let's start drinking beer.
All right. Which one are we going with first?
We got to go with the Quencher.
All right.
This is the Quencher. So where's the intro?
Oh, shit. We got to do our intro.
intro.
We'll swap out the beers while the intro
that
goes.
button right there. Now it's official.
Fuck yeah. Now we're in it.
We're here. Panther Creek Brews, based out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Hell yeah.
We've talked with Jeremy and JT, the folks at Panther Creek Beers, and I love Panther Creek Beers.
Yes.
They took over the space when the Green Dragon had to close due to the COVIDs and the supply chains, and they just couldn't make it. And Panther Creek definitely didn't take over there. Right. I want to be very clear. It was just that space was available. They didn't know what to do with it. And the boys at Panther Creek had a vision, and they've definitely made good on that space.
Yes. So
shout out to JT and Jeremy and Melvin, marketing guru over there at Panther Creek. Just
the whole crew, man.
Yeah.
Front of house and all of them. They're great.
So we're doing the Quencher today, which is a juicy lager. Super easy to drink. 5.5, 5.5, 13 IBUs. Super easy. Really flavorful.
It is.
Really flavorful.
I've got a few of these in my fridge right now.
You actually brought, so we were at the Whiskey and Sticks, Murfreesboro's premium newest cigar lounge.
So good. That place is awesome.
Shout out to CL Treese.
Yes.
Such a cool spot. And we were drinking beers that night, and you brought a 4-pack of this. This is one of those beers. This is one of those beers that could get anybody in the non-craft beer world super excited about beer, because it's easy drinking. It's got a ton of flavor. It's really juicy. It's not overly hoppy. 13 IBUs. Just good. It reminds me of like a juiced up. That's my bad.
All good.
Yeah.
All good.
It reminds me of a juicy version of their beer flavored beer, which is one of their other beers that they make. That's really good. But this one's really good. Quencher juicy lager, light bodied, easy drinking, juicy lager, thoroughly craft. There you go. Thoroughly crafted to encapsulate the flavors and aromas of a tropical summer, light, crisp, and lower ABV to contend with the summer heat. Absolutely gushing with huge waves of tropical fruit flavors, all derived from copious amounts of late addition hops. So this is where the lower IBUs come from. You get a little bit of a hoppy flavor, but it doesn't kick in with the IBUs because they're added late into the boil.
Nice.
There's no nose on a beer like this. It's all flavor when you're drinking it in. That's what I love about that. Is you smell it and you go, oh, it smells like beer.
Yeah.
Like it smells good. It smells refreshing, but there's not a lot to it. But then you take a sip and you're like, yes.
It kicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. This thing is awesome. So I had one before coming over here today, and I realized I hadn't ate all day. And
you had a Quencher?
I did.
Oh,
it quenched my thirst.
It
was great. It's a Murfreesboro beer.
Yes.
Panther Creek, killing the game. God,
I like their styles of beer. They do everything. So they focus more on. They've had a few stouts.
Yeah.
They've got I'm trying to remember the last. So they did a donut collaboration stout.
Oh, Donut Country, yeah.
Donut Country collaboration stout. They've done a 24K, which is like a golden stout.
They had a really nice pineapple one. It's not a collaboration, but it's a. They can't
say it anymore.
Yeah.
You have to change their name. I'm talking about their stouts, though.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So they've had quite, and then they've got a formal attire, which is like a peanut milk stout. But for the most part, they focus on either IPAs or like sours or lighter style drinking beers.
Yes. Yeah.
So this heat wave, perfect for beers like this.
Yeah. The Quencher is coming in MVP for Murphy's.
Yes. Light bodied, easy drinking, juicy lager. Oh, I read that already. I read that on Untappd. 5.5%, 13 IBUs. This is, again, they had another beer called beer flavored beer, which I ended up really falling in love with, because when somebody goes, what does craft beer normally taste like? You can't give them a definition.
No.
You can't, but they're expecting something that just tastes like beer. So when you come out with a beer flavored beer called beer flavored beer, like that's marketing genius at its finest.
Yeah.
It really works. This reminds me of a juicy version of that.
Yeah, for sure.
So it takes all the elements of just a beer flavored beer and it adds in this wave of juiciness to it.
It's one of those lagers that, if you're not a big fan of lagers, I get it. Because they're usually a little more mild on most of those flavors. It's a beer flavored beer, but this one packs extra juicy punch. Hence the name or label they put on here, juicy lager.
Yeah,
I just love what they've done with it. It builds so much character there. Apparently, a ghost wants a beer. A little beer bag rolling down. You got a lot of beer when you got beer bags.
You have beer bags. I think that was my Three Floyds beer bag sitting back there from when
That's
we went
called
to Munster.
Swag.
Yeah.
But no, this beer, it's surprising. Every time they come out with this one, it's one of the first ones I typically get, and I will buy cans of. It's just a solid go-to, especially during these months.
Yes, when when hottest summer's on record.
Shit. If you've been to Nashville, you just know.
Hey, and it's not every day, and Untapped ratings are super sensitive.
Oh yeah,
I totally get that. This has an average for a regular lager beer. This has a 3.8 average, which is really high for Untapped. Now people are like, 3.8, that's only 80%. Whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, who cares?
You can do the math, but you can't do the math of the emotions of idiots on this app. They're rating beers they don't like.
Yeah. But the fact that people are giving this a 3.8 and it's just a lager, it's just, lagers are definitely coming back with flavor and people are finding ways to give it their own. Yeah. This beer just knocks it out of the park, and that is a high rating for a lager on Untapped. And the people have spoken, something this juicy and this good.
Yeah, it's weird. Untapped, we always get onto this subject of Untapped, but I always consider anything a 3.5 and higher a success because of the user base. Anything below that is questionable because you don't know who's checking it in and really giving you that real rating. So it's a weird thing, man. I would not want to be a brewer basing my beers off of Untapped at all.
Well, and every time we talk with there's breweries out there that just will not look.
Yeah.
Ryan has said before, he's like, I put my beers on Living Waters. I put my beers out there on Untapped, but I just don't go back and look at the ratings because it's not, and that's not to say he doesn't care about the opinions of the people that drink his beer, but it's so skewed and so jaded, the opinions, that you can't sit there and consider those to be valid ratings. I do what I can. I'm with you. If I give a beer a 3, that means I'm going to go back and drink it again. Yes. But if you think about that on a scale of 1 to 5, that fails.
Yes. Yeah.
But for me, a 3 is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so to give an average of 3.8 on Untapped, it's that's really only close to 70%. You're barely scraping by, but that's good. That's good. So I get it. Yeah. Ratings suck ass.
Yes. Yeah. Untapped, you're never going to have that rating you want.
Yes.
Because you're creating something that you like and love, and you're trying to share and sell. And obviously, you're not going to please everybody.
Nope.
And the majority is not going to be happy with what you make regardless. So, you just go with your gut and make what you like. Those who like it will buy it, and you'll see it in your sales and profits.
Yeah.
So.
Shout out to Panther Creek.
Yes.
Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I believe there was definitely, Mayday was first in Murfreesboro. Well, no, not necessarily. Mayday was one of the first in Murfreesboro, but the boys at Panther Creek definitely followed.
Yeah, Panther Creek, man, they blew up.
Yeah. And their space is cool. They always have food trucks, and they have a kitchen now. Panther Creek has a chef
too. Yeah.
with really good food on site, and they're definitely utilizing that space that Green Dragon used to host, because they used to be a restaurant first and beer second, but they've definitely got good food coming out of that kitchen. They've got a really good chef there.
So in Murfreesboro, just seeing what the old Google has now, because I was notified the other day by a friend in the community. He said, hey, you should also talk to these guys. It's was not aware they were coming up. Middle Ground.
You sent me that link the other day.
Yeah.
Murfreesboro's getting a new brewery.
Yeah. It's on Old Fort Parkway.
Oh man, that's close to where I work.
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh, that's close to where I work.
So I haven't really explored their website or anything yet, but they're coming. They've got a little, I don't know if it's a gecko or what kind of lizard they've got as their logo. They've got a similar font to Common John to me, but I mean, it's anything kind of like all cap, sans serif, and not impact, but if you know what I'm talking about, it's just
all cap is a different meaning for Gen Z today.
Sorry guys, it's all capitalized. No cap.
No cap. Hey, can I also say I appreciate when you go to like a website for a brewery,
yeah,
and they just have one button that says verify you're 21 or older.
Oh yeah, that's so
don't
much better.
Don't make me put my I don't want to Wheel of Fortune scroll down to the year. I don't want to have to manually type in my birth date.
Yeah,
I can let you know I'm 21 without typing in my birthday. And by this point, I've drank so many beers, I don't want to like manually put in my birthday.
Not at all. Yeah.
So shout out to all the breweries that say, "Are you 21? Yes or no?"
You might as well just say, "Have you been drinking?"
Yes. Done.
Done.
I've actually never clicked no on any of those. Like,
Exactly.
Are you 21? What happens when you click no? I don't know. Because I haven't not been 21 for like 20 years.
Yeah, I don't know why they haven't created separate messages that populate based on cookies just to give you a random like every time you visit kind of deal. But yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, I have some fun with it nowadays because you're not going to keep anyone off your site anyway, and that's the secret truth. Mayday, Panther Creek, Cedar Glade, Middle Ground, and I haven't been here yet. Deep South Growlers.
Deep South Growlers is Bottle Shop. Yep.
Hop Springs.
I can't remember if you've been there, but I've been there. Okay.
You took me one time.
Okay.
It's like a big area, and they've got a little stage for
They do live music and stuff like that. Yep.
And then another one I haven't really been to. It's off Old Fort Parkway as well, but it's just a tap house, I believe. Miller's Ale House.
Restaurant first.
Okay, restaurant.
Yep.
So there's only a couple breweries here, really. Cedar Glade, Middle Ground, Panther Creek, and Mayday. Just working my way back up.
Yep. And then Cedar Glade. You said Cedar Glade, Mayday, and Hop Springs. Yep.
Hop Springs. So
those are the ones.
One, is that five?
Five
of them.
Cedar Glade, Hop Springs, Mayday, Panther Creek, and then soon to be Middle Ground.
Nice.
So Murfreesboro is definitely putting its flag in the ground in terms of, for a size that's Murfreesboro that's blowing up pretty fast. Like the breweries are definitely keeping up. Nowhere close to the number of breweries in like proper Nashville.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah.
But Nashville's a lot bigger than Murfreesboro, so you should have that many more breweries.
It just makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this Middle Ground place as well. I'm curious what kind of beers they'll have. They don't have anything on their site yet when it comes to what they'll be serving. But Panther Creek's killing it. It's been a while since we've been to Mayday. But the tour we'll never forget.
Oh my God, Aussie's is crazy as hell.
Yeah, Aussie was super fun, and the tour was exceptional. And even though it's like you go in left turns the whole time, you still get to see everything. You get to hear about all the processes. You get to have fun with everybody. As far as I remember. And they had that one chair where you get the total control, whoever sits on there, of their social media.
Yeah, he gives them access to his Twitter page. Sorry, X.
Oh, X.
What is
I don't know, man.
Elon.
He's spreading his musk. So
that was stupid.
Thank you.
But it was
yeah, dude. I don't get it either. dude lives on a different planet, so who knows?
He does. He's got so much money he can buy a social media, and who cares if it goes into the ground? Yeah. He's just whatever.
He's got enough assets. He'll buy another company if he feels like it. He doesn't give a shit.
I found something out the other day about Elon Musk.
Yeah.
He actually bought X.com as a domain back in 1999.
Oh my God.
So it's almost like when he bought Twitter and renamed it to X, it was almost like him trying to figure out what he could do with this domain.
Yeah, he's been holding on.
How can I make money off this thing now? And he was like, how about this website that this social media app?
I mean, Twitter's not Twitter anymore. It's going in a completely different direction.
So different.
It'll never be Twitter again.
Nope.
It's either gonna go in this new direction or die.
Yep.
I mean, there's no.
I think we
going
know
back.
which direction it's going.
Yeah.
Mark my words. I hope I'm wrong, but not that this video is going to live in infamy by any means. I'm just saying, I have a feeling that X is not going to be what people want it, what he wants it to be.
If no one's bought 86.com, we could buy that and we could maybe use that as the new domain once
that
it's
would
dead.
be fun. I wonder if 86.com is available.
I feel like it would have been taken. It's such a good term in restaurants. I feel like 86 would be a great clothing company too.
Not there.
Yeah.
It's available.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, that's a good domain to have
Yeah.
fun with.
I'm going to buy it this weekend.
Get it.
86.com.
We'll do something with it. We'll put our bad beer selections on it or something.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. 86 these fuckers.
86 these beers. New series coming soon from the Foamy Heads.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, I've been having
Should
too much beer.
we call it the arrogant
I
bastard?
think we could
All right.
change our mind.
Yep.
Start out with a negative review and see if they can change our mind.
Yeah, it's the complete flip table perspective of craft beer.
I feel like we
reviews.
have positive like mentalities when we want to start because we
Yes.
want to, but I don't know. Maybe the change might be different.
Yeah.
I don't know. Change our mind.
I-
Anyway,
It'll be fun to put a beer on blast every once in a while. It's going to be beers, of course, that are known bad ones
yep.
or
Yeah, the
economy
last thing
beers
you want to
or-
do is
yeah.
take a good beer from a brewery that's trying to make it and give a negative connotation
And
to it.
we're not just going to talk shit about it. We're going to be very much about why we hate it.
Cheap beers, malt liquors,
Yep.
Bud Ice,
Yep.
something like that.
But also just bad craft beer.
That's true too.
Yeah. If there's a bad one, we're going to be like, it just doesn't hit.
Yeah,
I tried it this way. I tried it that way.
can't change our mind.
Here's the bad beer. We're going to drink it again.
Change our mind.
Change our mind.
Anyway, Quencher,
Yes.
shout out.
Shout out to the Panther Creek
Shout out
guys.
to the Panther Creek guys. No, I was trying to get a thumbnail.
Oh,
I
got
was
it.
like this.
oh,
This is gonna work.
oh, got
I
it.
should have made my intentions known. I'm sorry.
My
Shout
bad.
out to the Panther Creek, JT, Jeremy, Melvin. You guys are awesome. I didn't forget the name of the brewery, but I can definitely see how that makes sense now.
Well, we've had a couple beers. so
We've been
we're-
drinking today already. This is not our first beer. Anyway,
Yeah.
shout out to the boys at Panther Creek. Those guys are awesome. Let's move on.
All right.
So
What's next on deck?
we've got a Nashville brewery in this case because we're highlighting Nashville and Greater Nashville today. So moving to the opposite end of the spectrum, we're doing a hopefully around October. We're collaborating with the boys at Bearded Iris. We're going to be at Sylvan Supply doing a fun live show. So it makes
First
sense. We should definitely highlight these guys. Bearded Iris was the first craft brewery in Nashville
Yeah.
to just start doing every other week releases for IPAs.
That killed me in the pandemic.
Yeah.
I thought I would save money in the pandemic, but then people like Bimco
no, you
came out.
didn't. Nope. They figured their shit out fast.
They did.
So 7 years strong, I think 8, coming up on 8 if they haven't had 8th year anniversary already. Bearded Iris made a name for themselves by being the guys that came out with a new IPA every other week. Like it doesn't, you've had up until then, you had Yazoo, you had Blackstone, you had Nashville Brewing Company, and those guys knew exactly what style of beer they wanted to make. And then Bearded Iris came through and flipped the script, and they were like, "Hey, we're just going to come out with something new every other week." And they did that, and I found myself waiting for the newest drop.
Yep.
Somehow they did that. I don't get it.
I didn't have to drive to work. I was one of the lucky ones. And then I chose to drive to buy beer.
Yep. And it screwed you just the same.
Yeah.
But Bearded Iris is just they've gone through a rebrand. Now they're doing a lot of ownership and cross ownership with Scofflaw Brewing.
That's right.
And they're just expanding their footprint and just talking to a lot of their marketing peeps. They're focusing on their core beers a lot more and coming out with, instead of doing something every other week, they've definitely scaled back on that.
Yeah.
But they're finding what hits and they're just rolling with it. And Blind Ambition is it's something I have not had before, and I don't think it's something you've had before either.
I don't think I have. Yeah.
Just looking at my Untapped list, let's see. Nope. At least you haven't checked it in. I don't know if you haven't had it. You've every once in a while you'll go through this phase where you don't check in beers. So I don't know if you've had it or not.
I'm very bad about it. Yeah.
But Blind Ambition it's actually a smaller stout from Bearded Iris. It's 8%. Normally they're kind of in the 10s. But having an imperial double stout from Bearded Iris, Blind Ambition, just reading straight off their Untappd, which is probably from their website. Determined to delight, an imperial stout features the dark chocolate, nuttiness of cacao nibs, and light bright orange peel. Ooh. So this should be a really good, and you can see a little bit of it if you look.
I was going to mention
the beer in the can. It's got a different color. It's got a lighter color, especially on the foamy head as they're as it's foaming up a little bit. You can see a little bit of a color.
Nice pour there.
Yeah. The world can't see it. There it is, right there. Nice. I definitely capped out at the top. Got our Nashville Craft Beer Social Club glasses.
Oh, yeah, we do.
So shout out to the Nashville Craft Beer Social Club. I'm going to be collaborating with them too in the future, hopefully with this live show and whatnot. But on the nose, what are you getting on this, Mitch?
It's a little bit fruity.
A little fruity?
Yeah.
Doesn't smell like a stout.
No. I don't smell any chocolate on it either. I see cacao nibs, orange peel. I can see where the orange peel is coming in.
I can get fruity on the nose.
Yeah.
Orange peel on the nose.
It's sweet and fruity.
Yep. I'm going to taste it.
Let's go. Well, zinger right at the beginning.
Yep.
But mellows out.
Ends like a Bearded Irish Stout on the end. Bearded Irish Stouts have the same ending flavor profile. Yeah. They always start out with, it's kind of like their IPAs. They start out with like a base.
Yeah.
And they change their hop additions and they change the hop, and that's what makes it unique. But they always end up like home style.
Yeah.
The taste always ends like home style. And the stouts for Bearded Iris always end up with stouts. They're always like chocolatey. It's got like a slight metallic flavor at the end. That's what all stouts from Bearded Iris end up like.
Yeah.
Everything from the sip into the middle is always different, and then it ends up as the end base.
Interesting. Yeah, they really do. All their stouts do have that slight metallic finish.
What was the V Fudge? There was V Fudge. Yeah. There's V Latte. They've got. I don't even know if they've done V Latte recently. Like I haven't seen it in a couple of years.
No, yeah, I feel like it's been 3 years.
Yeah,
so
it's been at least 3 years, but they all end up tasting the same. It's just the first and the middle parts are very chocolatey, very coffee-ish, and then it ends with that iconic Bearded Iris ending.
Very curious when V Latte and all that. So yeah, Bibco has been one of those weird breweries. They popped up. They had a virality for like a good year and a half to 2 years.
They made their name by just like ripping out beers.
Yeah. Their stouts at the beginning were very not what you would seek.
I agree.
I forget the name. It was Shipwreck was one of the. Was that a stout or
I feel
was
like
that
it was a porter?
Porter.
Shipwreck, I think, was a porter.
Still didn't hit very good.
Nope.
Anything dark beer was just not their game. But by their 3rd anniversary, they came out with. I think it was that the vanilla, like V Latte, V Fudge, and all that.
Yep.
It completely changed like what they were known for, other than just IPAs.
Mm-hmm. Ship shape porter.
Ship shape.
Yep.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So V Fudge was one of those beers that I gave probably almost a perfect rating to. It was an imperial oatmeal stout with just like tons of chocolate. December of 2017.
Holy shit.
Was when I checked that beer in. I gave it a very high reviewing.
2017.
Yeah.
They've been
actually, that was 8 years. No, that was 6 years ago.
Holy crap.
So that was actually early on. I feel like that was before their 3rd anniversary party because they're turning 8 this year. I think Bearded Iris is turning 8, and their Sylvan Supply location is turning 3.
Love their Sylvan Supply.
Black Dynasty.
Yeah.
Shout out Black Dynasty.
Yes.
Sylvan Supply is just a cool spot.
It really is. They put a lot of work into the aesthetic there.
Mm-hmm.
It for all intent and purposes, or intents and purposes.
Nice.
That should be it. It looks swanky. It should be fine dining.
Yeah.
And it's a craft beer hall.
Mhm.
And then it's got noodles for dinner. And
Yeah.
I love that juxtaposition of fine dining like atmosphere with that, brew guys, beer guys. We are not like super snobby people typically. No. And then you've got noodle punks slinging that shit everywhere, just making a fusion with Southeast flavors with Japanese cuisine. Yeah. And it's just badass. It's one of the best happening spots, in my opinion, in town. I love it. You can get your craft beer, you can get your craft noodles,
Sylvan Supply, man.
It's so cool.
They knew what they were doing when they set up shop there.
Dude, right now my Safari background on the browser is Sylvan Supply when nobody was in it.
Nice.
I don't know how I got this shot or if it was just a slow day or what, but nobody was in there. And I just took several shots off my phone and it just worked out.
That's beautiful.
It looks amazing. It's the color profiles are definitely like 70s esque to me. Like
it's very swanky hotel-ish.
Yeah.
They definitely had that vibe figured out. Yeah. And the cool thing is they took a lot of the aesthetics from their original location. Off of Van Buren Street, like the bar itself.
With the hard.
It's very wood. Similar, man. Yes. When you go into Sylvan Supply and you look at the bar, it's got that same feeling as the Van Buren Street location, where it's got like, you can tell it's Bearded Iris. It's got that funky artwork, the big chunky wood,
so cool,
and all that. But then where it differs is the seating and the tables at Sylvan Supply are very swanky, very like 70s hotel-esque.
Yeah.
Whereas the Van Buren Street is kind of more like warehouse style.
Yes.
They got a bar surrounding where the beer tanks are and whatnot, but it doesn't have that feeling like Sylvan Supply does. Which is fine because that's their OG location.
Yeah.
And they brew different beers at Sylvan Supply than they do at the Van Buren location.
Yeah.
So that's cool too.
Man. Bibco's been a big Hail Mary in craft beer here. I don't want to discount the original breweries in Nashville, but I mean, we can only fit so much in one episode.
Yeah.
One of these days we're going to be definitely talking about.
Yeah.
Let's start at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then we drink their beers and talk about it.
Oh, that'd be so much fun.
Yeah. I'd love to get a timeline episodic series together, but that's another day.
Another day.
This is what this brewery hit during the pandemic, and it was just like straight to the heart of craft beer people here. So
that was the time when during the Black is Beautiful.
Yeah.
They brewed a Black is Beautiful series, along with a lot of the other breweries in the area. So being able to, and then and Bearded Brother has moved on to other places as well, but he did a collaboration with the Rollout Stout.
That's true.
With
that was a damn good beer.
Yes, with a lot of other collectives, and Bearded Iris was at the center of that. So Bearded Iris is definitely they're involved with their community, but they're definitely blowing up.
Yeah,
they're definitely getting bigger. A lot, of course, like co-sponsorship and collaboration with Scofflaw in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
They're finding ways to expand their footprint. So shout out to Bearded Iris and everything you've done. We've had 2 beers today on opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
From 2 Nashville breweries. Gosh. Shout out Panther Creek. Shout out Bearded Iris Brewing.
Man, there's so many more beers to get into, but these are the 2 we got today.
And that's what we're going to keep. And we'll keep doing them, man. We'll keep highlighting Nashville breweries.
Yes.
If you have Nashville beers, we're on socials.
Yes.
We've got the Instagrams and the YouTubes and the Facebooks.
Come check us out.
Come check us out. People in the South add S's to everything. You're at the Walmarts.
Yeah. Makes me think of the, is it Midwest or is it more Cincinnati where they go, all's used guys?
Used guys? I feel like that's like a Midwestern thing. I don't know. Who knows? I'm from the South, so I don't know. Dirty South and ATL, Georgia. Great beers in Atlanta, but great beers in Nashville too. Yes. So cheers to you, Mitch.
Cheers.
Appreciate you, man. Cheers to everybody watching, listening in. Grab a Nashville beer, comment on any of our socials down below what you're drinking, and we will see you guys on the next show.
So good.
Cheers.
Thanks for listening.